Hello everyone, my name is Noah Whitehead, and I'm here today to give you a brief and short presentation on one of my favorite and most recent authors, Jason Reynolds. Our talk today will include his background, published works, the awards and achievements for those published works, and then the importance of Reynolds' work in the contemporary classroom and why we should be including his works in our modern classrooms as educators. So who is Jason Reynolds? He was born in Washington, D.C., but he moved to Maryland. He found a passion for poetry through his love for rap music, which I find really inspirational. But ironically enough, he never really read a full book from cover to cover until he was 17 years old. So this kind of caused him to push away from poetry for a while, especially since he won a Coretta Scott King Award for his first published novel. However, he later shifted back into poetry in 2017, and with one of his most famous works known as Long Way Down. He now has many avenues to express his creativity, such as a podcast that he films, short films, and then many more books that are being created alongside these events. His published works, as you can see on the right, he has published 17 works. Throughout his time as an author. These are just some of the selected ones that I believe are really influential and probably the ones you've heard of the most. They've won a lot of the awards. But the themes that he delves into in a lot of his works are very heavy. They involve gang violence, poverty, police brutality, and the trauma associated with those events. On his website, Reynolds states that the purpose of a lot of his books is to have a testament to our shared experience and the power of seeing yourself in books. Through these works, Reynolds has inspired a new generation of readers and allowed them to discover themselves like never before through his powerful prose. Okay. Next is the achievements and awards. He's won a lot, a whole lot. So I'm going to try to go through this as best I can. According to the Library of Congress, and on his website, Reynolds has won the Coretta Scott King Award 5 times in total. The NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Literary Work for Youth/Teens 2 times. The National Book Award, the ALA's Best Fiction for Young Adults Award, the Edgar Award, the Odyssey Book Award, or Audiobook Award, a Newbery Medal, the Michael L. Prince Award, and the Carnegie Medal. These awards really do place him at the canon, or at the head of the canon of young adult literature, and also even for children. He is such an exceptional author, and it shows through these awards. It shows all of his achievements and his ability to connect with his readers. So next we'll go on to my selected work that I chose for this book. I chose Ain't Burned All the Bright. This is a more recent work. This came out in 2022. And it follows the struggles of a family as they deal with both the COVID-19, or they deal with COVID-19, and they deal with the Black Lives Movement happening at the same time. So they're seeing the tragedies that their people are facing alongside this deadly virus. And it follows a young boy who goes unnamed throughout the entirety of the work. And it basically follows this young boy as he learns to deal with generations of cultural trauma, and he finally begins to be able to breathe again after all this time where he feels suffocated in his own work. And to show his merit as a storyteller through this work, I believe it just shows that Reynolds is an excellent storyteller, and he develops characters that are so relatable, and more importantly, they have contemporary struggles that make it so much easier for me to relate to as a reader, because they're happening in real time. These are based on realistic fiction, so we get to experience these actions with the characters a lot of the time. And a great quote that I saw from someone who had read this work recently states, "And so for anyone who didn't really know what it means to be able to breathe, really breathe, for generations, now you know." And I think it's through this connection that he creates with readers that Reynolds can influence us and show that storytelling has natural and powerful benefits that we can gain from them. So moving on from that, why I believe these works are important to us as educators. I came up with 3 distinct reasons. So the first one is they're really easy to understand. I believe I've used them in my classrooms multiple times, and I always have them in my classroom library. I believe they are so, so important because every time I give them to students, they come back to me and they say, wow, these are so easy to understand, and I really connected with it. And I believe through that ability to write in a way that everyone can understand, Reynolds opens the door for more and more people to connect with literature. So I believe that by giving them the chance to read these works, we can expose them to a brand new avenue of expression that maybe they've never experienced before. Especially since a lot of his works are written in prose, it makes him such an exceptional author to start with because the books are always short, and it makes it so much more like students aren't going to be scared of these works. In that light, for authenticity's sake, I believe, and I quoted Smolin and Oswald here, I believe that we can create a critical literacy in students when we present them with topics or cultures that are relevant to them. So when we present a work that's very authentic, like all of Reynolds' works are, I believe that we can give them a critical literacy that can allow them to go out and garner these opinions and solutions based on the works that they read in the classroom. And I think that's a really powerful way that we can use these works in our classroom. And then my last reason is the topics and themes. I believe these are essential because they're such modern issues, and we're still dealing with a lot of the issues that he talks about in his work, such as COVID-19, Black Lives Matter movement, police brutality, all of that. We're still dealing with that stuff. So I believe it's so important that we present them with literature that mirrors those experiences. So we can use these works as a mirror or a window, right, for our other culturally distinct readers, and use that to allow them to gain knowledge, and hopefully eventually maybe allow them to advocate, communicate, or collaborate with each other for a more culturally rich future. Okay. So here's my references. Like I said, there's at the very middle about the author page. That is his website if you want to check that out. But all of these others are the other resources that I used in this presentation. I hope you learned a lot about one of my favorite authors. I hope you take this with you and keep it in your libraries if you don't already have it there, but I'm sure you do. And thank you for your time. I appreciate it.